So picture this, you're just scrolling through your feed, sipping your iced coffee, minding your own business, when bam, the internet explodes with whispers that two of love and hip-hop's biggest names, Bambi and Kirk Frost, went from shady side-eyes to full-on meltdown mode, and not just your regular reality TV shouting match. Oh no, reports are swirling that things may have actually turned physical. Yeah, you heard me, physical. Now pause for a second and ask yourself, is this really happening, or are we watching the greatest PR stunt VH1 never admitted to? Because let's be honest, this show has given us messy divorces, surprise babies, and enough screaming matches to make WWE jealous. But Bambi versus Kirk? That's a plot twist even the most chaotic fanfiction couldn't have predicted. And here's the kicker: crew members on set were apparently frozen. Some too stunned to move, others reaching for their phones like TMZ interns on overtime. Social media? Forget it, the timeline's already on fire. But the million-dollar question remains, was this raw, unfiltered reality, or just another perfectly staged circus for ratings? Buckle up, because what I'm about to lay out will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about Bambi, Kirk, and the smoke-filled world of love and hip-hop. Alright, let's get into it, because when it comes to messy television history, love and hip-hop has always delivered, but this time the chaos hit a level nobody expected. And it all comes down to Bambi and Kirk Frost, names that have carried more than their fair share of scandal already, and somehow still managed to surprise us with new layers of drama every season. And what makes this so gripping is not just that they argued, but that the way it escalated has people whispering about whether this was a staged moment for the cameras or a genuine clash that almost blew up into something physical. And the crazy part is, if you look back at their history, it actually makes sense that something like this was bound to happen sooner or later, because Bambi has never been one to hold back her opinions. She's been caught in countless confrontations on and off screen, from throwing shade to calling out hypocrisy directly in people's faces, and fans either love her for being fearless or criticize her for being too reactive, while Kirk, on the other hand, has an entirely different type of reputation built around manipulation and controversy, with his rocky marriage to Rashida being one of the longest-running storylines on the show, marked by infidelity scandals, secret children, and shady business decisions that always seem to surface at the worst possible time. And for years, viewers have accused him of playing the long game, manipulating situations behind the scenes, while maintaining his calm, smooth-talking image in front of the cameras. So when these two finally collided in such an explosive way, it felt like the perfect storm of personalities clashing, and neither one was willing to back down, which of course is reality TV gold, but also raises serious questions about just how deep the bad blood ghost tension apparently started. Like a spark in an oil field, subtle at first but quick to spread. Because according to whispers from people who claim to be on set, Bambi came in already carrying an edge about her, as if she had rehearsed what she wanted to say, and Kirk, with his usual smug composure, seemed to know something was coming, but underestimated just how hard she was about to come for him. And here's where it gets interesting, because Bambi didn't just start with vague accusations. She went straight for the jugular, referencing private conversations she said Kirk had been having behind her back, conversations that apparently painted her as unreliable, messy, and hard to work with on the show. Now, whether those conversations actually happened, or whether this is just another case of telephone game reality TV style, is unclear. But the way Bambi delivered those words left no doubt she believed them completely. And the fact that she said them out loud in front of cast, crew, and cameras made it even more intense, because reality stars are usually careful about what gets aired, knowing their reputation is literally being edited in real time. But Bambi's choice to drag this into the open signaled she wasn't afraid of the fallout. As the exchange heated up, Kirk tried his usual tactic, brushing things off, minimizing the accusations, and throwing in comments about how she was overreacting. But that only fueled her fire, because for Bambi it wasn't about a single slight, it was about a pattern, a long history of subtle digs and shady remarks that she believed Kirk had been orchestrating to make her look bad. And the thing about television is perception is everything, so even the hint that Kirk had been planting seeds against her was enough to set off fireworks. And here's where the story goes from juicy to downright shocking, because according to leaked chatter, some crew members swore that when Bambi stepped closer and jabbed her finger toward Kirk's chest, the energy in the room shifted, like something dangerous was about to happen. It was no longer just raised voices and harsh words, it was the type of tension that makes everyone instinctively move back in case something physical goes down. And that's exactly the part that has fans in a frenzy. Did Bambi and Kirk actually cross the line into physical contact, or did the moment stop just short? The truth depends on who you ask. Some anonymous sources insist there was a shove or a hand pushed away, while others claim it was just dramatic posturing exaggerated by the adrenaline of the scene. But the fact that so many people present cannot even agree tells you how chaotic and explosive the atmosphere must have been, and the way both of them refused to break eye contact made it even more unsettling. Like two boxers circling in the ring, waiting for someone to throw the first punch in. As all this unfolded, whispers say other cast members hovered nearby, some frozen in disbelief, others clearly itching to record it on their phones and leak it to social media. Because let's be real, if you are on a set like Love and Hip Hop and you witness a moment this raw, you know it is going viral within minutes, and sure enough, as soon as the shouting died down, clips began trickling online. Some grainy, some clearly taken without permission, all of them feeling the same burning question. Was this the moment the show went too far, or was it the exact kind of spectacle the producers wanted all along? And with every share and every retweet, the controversy grew, feeding the narrative that maybe, just maybe, this fight was more than entertainment. Maybe it was exposing the darker undercurrent of manipulation, alliances, and betrayals that have been simmering behind the scenes for years. And the scariest part is nobody really knows where the truth ends and the performance begins, which is exactly why this scandal refuses to die down. What makes the fallout even more gripping is how quickly the situation spiraled beyond the set and into the court of public opinion, because once the clip started circulating online, every blog, every gossip page, and every fan account jumped on the story, dissecting every frame as if it were the Zapruder film of reality television. Some fans immediately sided with Bambi, praising her for finally calling Kirk out and saying what others were too scared to admit, that he has a pattern of stirring up drama while hiding behind his calm persona. Others, however, accused her of being desperate for camera time, claiming she had blown small issues out of proportion just to secure more screen presence and keep herself relevant. The divide in reactions only added fuel to the fire as arguments broke out across social media, with hashtags forming on both sides and people writing long threads with so-called evidence of Kirk's shady dealings or proof that Bambi was exaggerating the drama to make herself the victim. And the intensity of the reactions proved one thing: this was not just another forgettable squabble, it had become a storyline with real weight and real consequences. Behind the scenes, the producers reportedly debated how much of this footage should actually make it into the final cut, because on one hand, it was television gold, raw, explosive, unpredictable, the exact kind of material that drives ratings through the roof, but on the other hand, there was genuine fear that if the situation had crossed into something physical, the network could face backlash for allowing it to play out without intervention. And the last thing anyone wants is accusations of exploiting violence for entertainment, yet that is exactly the shadow hanging over this scandal, because multiple anonymous crew members claim the producers deliberately held back from stepping in, hoping to capture the perfect viral moment, the kind of confrontation that could trend worldwide and dominate entertainment headlines for weeks. If that is true, then this is not just about Bambi versus Kirk. It is about a culture of manipulation, where even explosive personal conflicts are seen as assets to be exploited. And then came the whispers of receipts, because just when fans thought it was only a heated argument, Bambi hinted on camera that she had proof that Kirk was double dealing. Behind the scenes screenshots, messages, conversations that could allegedly expose alliances and betrayals nobody had seen coming. The second she reached for her phone, the entire energy shifted, because proof is the one thing reality TV thrives on, and if Bambi truly had it, the balance of power could tip completely in her favor. Reports say Kirk immediately grew tense, accusing her of being reckless for wanting to air private matters in front of everyone, which only made people believe she really was holding something big. The tension of that moment became the centerpiece of the scandal, because it suggested that beneath the loud words and finger-pointing there were deeper secrets at play, secrets that might involve more cast members, more drama, and possibly even deals that went far beyond the show itself. The strangest part is how both of them left the confrontation neither apologizing nor reconciling, but carrying themselves as if they were planning their next move. Kirk was seen speaking quietly with a producer right after, clearly strategizing about how this footage would be handled, while Bambi walked out with her phone still in her hand, pausing only to glance down at a message she received mid-argument, a message that, according to people close to her, completely changed her perspective, because it suggested Kirk had been involved in something bigger than petty gossip. The mystery of that message still lingers, and fans cannot stop speculating what exactly it contained. Was it evidence of betrayal, proof of secret meetings, or something that implicated other cast members? Whatever it was, it froze her in her tracks long enough for Kirk to notice. And that single detail has become the spark for endless conspiracy theories. Fans are convinced this was not the end of the feud, but merely the beginning of a larger unraveling, and that is why this scandal refuses to die. Because it is no longer just about two people shouting on set, it is about the possibility that what they revealed in that heated exchange could tear apart the very foundation of the show. So here we are standing at the edge of a scandal that feels less like a TV episode and more like a live ticking time bomb, and the question is what happens next. Because if Bambi really does have receipts ready to drop, then this could be the kind of revelation that not only shakes up love and hip-hop, but rewrites the way fans see Kirk Frost entirely. And if Kirk is telling the truth, that she is twisting the story, then maybe we are watching one of the biggest setups in reality TV history play out right before our eyes. Either way, this is a type of drama that people will be dissecting for weeks, so here is where you come in. Do you believe Bambi is holding undeniable proof that could end Kirk's credibility once and for all, or do you think this was just another heated moment exaggerated for the cameras to keep ratings high? Because your take matters as much as the cast's next move, so drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell us whose side you are on and what you think that mysterious message really said. And if you want the truth, the drama, and the receipts, as soon as they drop, hit like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications.